Hi, and welcome to another Tuesday with me. I'm Ash, your Tuesday paperboy, and today isn't just any regular old Tuesday. Today is actually my birthday. So, can we see any white hairs yet? I think we're okay. And today's topic is dealing with the weight of transition. So, when we talk about the weight of transition, we're usually talking about having to deal with gatekeepers. That's the main issue. So, we're talking about waiting for medical transition, like obtaining hormones and surgery, and also the weight of legal transition. So, getting your paperwork changed, having your gender marker and your name changed. Now, I'm a generally very positive person and I love to spread positivity, and that is no doubt the direction that this video will eventually take, but I'm not gonna lie to you and wave my hands and say, it's not a big deal and it's super easy and you have nothing to worry about, because that's just not the case. It is really difficult having to wait for these things when we know what we want and you feel like you have this autonomy over your body, or you feel like you should have this autonomy over your body, but all of these other people are standing in the way. Personally, I didn't have to wait a super long time in order to get hormones and surgery and paperwork. I did have to go through a few therapists, though, in order to get a letter to approve me for T. And then once I did get my prescription for T, I also actually had to wait a lot just in order to get it administered to me. That was actually the biggest hurdle, surprisingly enough. So I did actually have to wait like about a month or so with the T in my possession, okay? You have to understand the level of temptation here. I had the vial of tea in my hand that I had been waiting for, like for, a year, 2 years or so, and I couldn't inject it. I couldn't find anybody who was willing to inject it because all of the doctors that I think I asked like maybe 17 or 18 different doctors, and all of them said, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with that." So they wouldn't give me a simple injection or teach me to do a simple injection. Anyway, I'm in a better place now. I live in Montreal. I have a great endocrinologist. I do self-injections finally, so it's fine. But the whole point is, waiting is a pain in the butt and nobody likes it. And if you're dealing with waiting right now, my heart goes out to you, and I'm rooting for you, and I hope that your wait doesn't last too long, because most of us have been there and we kind of understand what it's like. So I know it's much easier said than done, but try not to get too discouraged. I know in the moment, at least for me, personally, it really felt like these steps that I was striving for were kind of like outside of my lifetime. It felt like a lifetime away, like it wasn't going to happen in my life. Like it was something that I saw other people going through and achieving, but it felt like something that happened to others and not to me, if that makes sense. So if anybody out there is currently feeling that same way, just know that it will happen. And I know it feels kind of sucky right now and it feels like it's unattainable and it's a lifetime away, but I assure you, your wait will end, and it'll probably even go by faster than you imagine right now. So hang in there. I believe in you. And in the meantime, as cheesy as it sounds, just try to enjoy the moment and enjoy the ride. And even if you're stuck waiting right now, you're still moving forward. Like you know what you're waiting for. You have that thing, that ideal in mind. You know what you want. And the only barrier between you and that thing is just time. So you're still on the right track and you're getting somewhere. And in the meantime, I would encourage you to kind of take little steps where you can, and that will probably make you feel a little bit better. Like, if you need to make some phone calls in order to make an appointment with a gender therapist, if that's where you're at, bite the bullet and do some research and find somebody that you want to go to and call and just book the appointment. Or if you're waiting for surgery, find your ideal surgeon and try to book a consultation or something like that. Like, even if you think, oh, I don't have the money right now or whatever, like maybe you can kind of call and talk to them, or like find these little things that you're able to do to kind of make some level of progress, and that might make you feel a little bit better in the meantime. And honestly, if you're not happy with the legislation having control over what happens to you, and you think that it's time for some change, I would really encourage you to try to do some activism. Like, it really doesn't require anybody special in order to make things happen and get stuff done. Like, if you're not happy with the way the laws are where you live currently, and you don't like having all these gatekeepers in place, and you think it would work better if there was some sort of informed consent clinic or something in your area, I would really recommend that you try to do some activism and try to rattle some chains and get some people behind you. You can really make some things happen. And even though you might feel like you're just one person and like maybe you're kind of really young and you don't think people will take you seriously, if you take yourself seriously and you really try your best, you can really get some stuff changed. Believe it or not, PEI used to not cover any trans-related surgeries just a few short years ago, and then I kept calling the Minister of Health and I arranged a meeting with him, and I had done some research and prepared some written materials for him and his staff. And at the end of the meeting, they told me they'd get back to me or whatever. But at the end of the day, they did get back to me, and they had said that they decided to cover some trans-related surgeries. And it was only a few surgeries to start off, but of course it's progress, it's baby steps. And I really didn't anticipate any sort of positive outcome. Honestly, I didn't think I would have that much of an impact, and I didn't think I had that much power. I think I was like 22 at the time, and I thought they're not going to take me seriously. There's not very many trans people in PEI, and they're probably not going to see it as a priority. People can really surprise you, and you can surprise you. So no matter where you're at right now, or what you're trying to achieve, I really strongly encourage you to try to find a good support system and try to find some people who are going to stand behind you no matter what. And if you do think that you would like to try to do some advocacy, it's really crucial that you find some people with some similar ideals in mind who can kind of help you along with that process. If you need to reach out to me, by all means, do so. I'm really not an expert, but I'd love to chat about that sort of thing. If you're kind of thinking of doing some advocacy, that's something I'm kind of really passionate about. So there you have it. I think that's about all that I have to say on the subject. I can't really think of any other advice, unfortunately. But if there's anything I've missed, if any of you watching have some great words of advice for other people who might be stuck in a waiting process, please feel free to comment below and leave your suggestions, because I think that might be really helpful for people. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and stay tuned for next week. I will see you then. Bye.